Hello and welcome to the best of Hindsight Tonight. I'm Damian Muziani, and here is this week's theme. Enjoy. You must have dropped your bong when you saw the hastily called press conference tweeted out by President Trump on Saturday, presumably to have taken place at the Four Seasons in Philadelphia, a five-star luxury hotel. Whoever is in charge of location booking for the Trump administration, or should I say whoever used to be in charge, instead secured the Four Seasons Total Landscaping Company in a part of town that could be described as sketchy at best. You know, the kind of place where New Jerseyans used to have to go to before the marijuana law was passed. Maybe event speaker Rudy Giuliani ignored the apparent mix-up since he has done so well for himself recently at another Four Seasons location documented in the movie Borat, subsequent movie film. Sources stated that the landscaping center location was finally settled on only when it was discovered that the Ritz-Carlton meatpacking plant and Waldorf Astoria Waste Management Center were both unavailable for rent on Saturday. It was a watershed moment in American history. Too bad most of us missed it because we spent all week focusing on the Bernie Sanders meme. And you thought Biden had a busy weekend. Bernie had time to catch the Packers game, pose for George Surratt, guest star in Game of Thrones. Then he knocked out Conor McGregor and had a sit down with Paulie Walnuts. See, these memes are funny because they are taken in places you would never see Sanders in 100 years. You know, like behind the Resolute desk, for example. Quite a honeymoon. Take a bow, sir. Just watch your balance when you do. 78 is not only the president's age, but it's also the kinds of records he listened to growing up as a boy. As such, Biden is also expected to try to shake off any lingering accusations of weakness or senility that has been suggested by his naysayers. For example, over the last 100 days, he has clearly shown that he can successfully board Air Force One under his own power. This was actually a staged teaser for Biden's new reality show, Dancing with the Stairs. This week, Biden takes on Karina Smirnoff and her freestyle dance with an abandoned mall escalator. It's must-use handrails TV. In an attempt to downplay his grandfatherly image, President Biden's advisors are discouraging him from leaving out bowls of hard candy in every room in the White House. They've also disengaged the clapper from the Oval Office. The president is expected to announce, however, that all members of Congress will still get hand-signed birthday cards with personal checks for $5 inside this year. The measure passed 50-49 in a party line vote, but it was nearly derailed over the course of a 12-hour panic caused by the threatened mutiny of one Democrat. This guy, Senator Joe Manchin, deemed by some insiders as the most powerful politician in America. Why? Because as a centralist Democrat in the red state of West Virginia, Manchin needs to be sensitive to GOP issues that his constituents value, which can jam up a party line vote at any time. Gee, it seems like just last decade when Manchin first ran for that Senate seat and found himself 4 points behind in the polls. Luckily, a certain Hindsight reporter was able to lend him a hand on a national cable show since eliminated by cancel culture. I think the big problem is that really he's behind in the polls and it's desperation time. But honestly, I like that. And that actually makes me kind of lean towards supporting the guy. I don't live in West Virginia, but I kind of hope he wins.
You hope Manchin wins.
Sure. You're a Philly guy. You like a Rocky Balboa story, right?
Anyway, Damian Muziani, you're the kind of guy I like. Anyway, thanks for coming on the show and being a good sport and endorsing Joe Manchin.
Ah, the power of hindsight. A few days after this endorsement, Joe Manchin rebounded in the polls, won a seat in the U.S. Senate, and is sure to continue keeping politicians up very late at night. You're welcome, sir. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week with more of the best of Hindsight Tonight.